We now take a look at our special report today. Now, for the 13 years running, New Vision brings together experts from the various fields to give a quick and ready analysis for the Finance Minister's budget speech. New Vision TV now broadcasts excerpts. We start with the discussion on education.
One of the topics I really want to explore is, at a very personal level, one, what are you as a person, what are your dreams and wishes and aspirations that you'd like to see addressed for you as a, I think they say on radio in public discussion, Zenganze, me as me. So you as you, what do you want to see? What do you expect? Let's start with you, Yvonne, and then Mark.
If you're to look at labor or even manpower planning, it all starts with education. For everyone to be sitting here, it's because you went through some path of education. And I feel that if we are to look at the UPE or USE, it is not just something that the government is obliged to do. I feel it is a right of each and every student or people in this, in this program of education. The facilities are not really good. Some of them are really worrisome. Like 90% of the UPE and USE schools in Uganda are not offering that education that is needed and required, and most importantly, deserved by these students and their pupils. So I feel if there is anything that Uganda, as a nation, should do, they should focus on these pupils. For instance, you're staying here, but the closest school is in the next village. You're supposed to walk there. By the time you reach there, you're tired, you're weary, you're frustrated. You don't even attach any meaning to your education.
How does the question of sanitation, and you know what I mean, affect the girl child in school, and what kind of public investment? Because there was a discussion about government should provide sanitary towels to schools. How does that affect you as school going, and even your friends, from your experiences? Just tell us, how does this really, and how would that intervention help?
The appeals that they may give to the girls, maybe to sort of mitigate the pain, but sometimes not every mother is actually they really don't agree with that. They it's a natural process, so let it be, bear with the pain. And of course, some girls are going to comply. I mean, it is your mother that has told you so. It is not always that every girl is going to have something to reduce the pain. Yeah, exactly. So you're supposed to bear that, sit and deal with it. So I feel actually, if government is to provide such to girls, especially those who can't afford one, it would be helpful.
I would just like to add that during that period, most of the girl children, rural areas or in town areas, are forced not to attend classrooms because the environment in which the girl is does not actually affect her. It's in her inside. The problem is on her inside, and in most cases, the inside issues cannot be dealt with unless you seek medical attention. But what happens in most schools and in most areas in families, the parents do not give attention to it. Some parents actually do not even want to hear their children speak about such issues.
So, Sise, I come to you. So, Sise, I just want to ask, you've had them. In terms of resource allocation, shouldn't there be an affirmative investment in affirmative action to make it, or to ameliorate the condition of these girl children in schools, especially in public schools?
Maybe what can help is, do you have benchmarks? If you're talking of issues like that in gender, does our government have benchmarks to which it's going to actually measure itself to ensure that every particular MDA has set up clear, probably guidelines, and we're going to measure? Short of that, we shall continue talking about it. We shall never put resources, or the resources will never be adequate. Because if you're talking of issues of sanitation, I think for me it is broader, and it shouldn't just be a one-off. And how does government deliberately ensure that such issues are catered for?
Let me turn to Sam. What recommendations would you give?
What we desire as Ugandans is to see that those in charge of government, those in charge of delivering government programs, have more empathy, one, for the girl child, as you have said, two, in making sure that the resources reach those people they are supposed to reach.
Just one subject stands out for me, water and the environment. The budget has been reduced from 5% of the budget to 3.3%. In other words, we are getting less on water and environment. Everything we are discussing here comes to a standstill when you consider a population of 40 million people. You consider a country that has run down its forestry reserves. You consider a country that is struggling with garbage disposal and the use of caveras. So it's like, if we don't look at our posterity, the environment is our posterity. If we don't look at it, everything we are discussing, including agriculture, including security, will come to nothing.
Thank you very much for enriching our experience.